No, you can say no.
Greetings to you. How can I help?
What's new around here?
Vostatek. Lord von Beregov's huntsman is a regular here. He might have some work for you. He's got a cottage near Vidlak Pond. So if you know your way around the woods, you could go and offer him your help. I hope he hasn't started drinking somewhere else. He's my best customer. You could also stop by and see Old Mouth. He's the local storyteller. He could tell you all sorts of interesting things, but only if you bring him some liquor. Don't forget, I have some here to sell, if you want. I'm working on a little practical joke myself. We have this little dispute with the Zeliovites. You might be interested. And that's all I'd say.
Sounds interesting. Thank you, innkeeper. You're having problems with the Zeliovites?
Not just me, my friend. They're the biggest bastards around. They've been nothing but trouble for years. The winter before last, they piled snow in front of everyone's doors at night, so no one could get out of their house. And last year, they broke into my cellar and pissed in my beer barrel.
Gracious. I hope you got your aim back on them.
Not yet, no. But since you're here, I've got a plan you could help me out with. I'd pay you well. You can count on that.
What exactly would you like me to do?
Don't worry. I won't make you do any shoveling or pissing anything. But I'll tell you exactly what I have in mind, only after you promise to help me. I'd hate to reveal my plan, only for you to go off and tell the Zeliovites right away.
Well, if you've got it all figured out, why don't you do it yourself?
Right. And who's going to run the inn in the meantime, eh? Besides, everyone in Zhelyov knows us. If someone from here shows up there, they'll get suspicious.
All right. I'll help you.
Listen up then. Old Olbram, the owner of the biggest plot of land in Zhelyov, has this beautiful bull. White as snow he is. The finest animal far and wide. Obviously, he's very proud of it. Very protective, too. Now I mean you, will give his beautiful snow-white bull a nice new coat of paint. Olbram is going to lose his mind. Simple, right?
Well, not really.
All right, it's a little complicated, but I'm sure you'll manage. First, we have to get some paint. I don't reckon we'll be able to get any here in the village, but you can try and ask Bartoszek, the tailor in Trotskovitz. I hear he dyes his own fabric. And after that, we'll have to make sure the bull stays still while you're painting it. Try asking Radovan, the local blacksmith. I hear he can make some kind of sleeping potion. If you pour it in the bull's water trough, I'm sure it'll do the trick. But watch out. That beast is enormous. You'd better put at least 3 doses of the potion in there.
Well, I have to say, I expected this to be easier. You could have at least given me the paint.
Oh, ain't you a little princess? No guts, no glory. And remember, it's supposed to be a joke. If you get caught or something goes wrong, the whole thing will be ruined.
Right. So I need paint, sleeping potions, and to not get caught. Why do you and the Zhelyov lot hate each other so much, anyway?
It's their fault. They keep playing tricks on us. Olbram's the worst of them all. The nasty old codger. He's always coming up with ways to mess with us. He's the one that stole our pasture.
What pasture did they steal from you?
The one that stretches from the orchard behind the Takov down to the gamekeeper's lodge. It's been ours since time immemorial, but the Zeliovites took it from us.
And how did they take it from you? You can't exactly stuff a pasture in your purse and walk away with it.
Save the jokes, will you? This is fucking serious. There's a tree down by the gamekeeper's lodge that marks the edge of our land. My father, God rest his soul, was there when they agreed on it. He got a proper arse kicking so he'd remember it, and remember it he did. But then fucking Albram came along, claiming it was the other way round, and that pasture belonged to Zhelyov.
Well, that's a tough nut to crack. But now...
Say, there's a but then...
Well, can't you all just reach some kind of agreement?
Do you think we haven't tried? But there's no talking to the Zhelyevites. Year after year we meet in that pasture. I tell it like it was, but Albram always starts spewing his lies. Then we end up arguing until the sun sets. And when the Zhelyevites are at wit's end, they come at us, and nothing ever gets solved. We managed to convince them to at least give us back half the pasture. But I know the whole bloody thing belongs to us. We can't just leave things like this.
Have you tried asking Lord von Burgov for help?
Of course, but he'd have none of it. He said it's up to the Trotskovitz bailiff to sort it out. But the bailiff couldn't care less. He said we should deal with Albram ourselves, or he'll have us caned and clapped in the pillory.
What's new?
Nothing new. It's quiet here for...
What do you have for sale?
Thank you, and take...
Don't shove!
I've heard you dye your own fabric.
I used to. I tried a few times, but I had to give it up. Trotskovitz is on a hill, and there's not enough water for that. Why'd you ask?
I'd like to buy some pigment.
I see. Well, perhaps I could find some leftover black. If you have enough groschen, it's yours.
Ah, damn. That's more money than I thought. Look, I don't need much. Just a bit will do.
Is that so? What do you want it for, anyway?
I want to paint on Albram of Zhelyov's bull. Just a little should be enough.
Someone from Tarkov put you up to this, am I right? You should have said that right away. I won't spoil your fun. You know what? If I scraped off some of that dry pigment from the edges of the bucket and mixed it with some lard, that could work. Those pigments are a magical thing, eh?
What do you mean?
For example, if you need blue, you can use blueberries or woad leaves. You put them in hot water with the fabric and it'll turn blue. Walnuts good too. With the husks of unripe walnuts, you can get a very nice light brown, sometimes even yellow. The best way to make red is from madder root. And when you add alum or beeswing to the water, the colour gets a beautifully rich shade. Or you could just use plain old black elder. The berries, of course, but they're more for lighter shades. Oh, and privet's not too bad either. If you use its bark and alum, you get yellow. You can even use the leaves. They make a nice green, but it takes forever. But you know what's my favourite way of making yellow? Using dyer's broom or weld. You take a few nice stems, some leaves, a bit of alum, and you get yellow, as bright as a chick's feathers. And for so much cheaper than using saffron or iris, that's the main thing. Buckthorn makes a nice green, maybe the best of all. You use its fruit. They say it can also heal, but I've never tried that. The most important part is the stain, anyway. Like alum, for example. It can create all sorts of shades and give depth and richness to the colour. But even that won't help you if you don't know what to use for what colour. Sometimes you want the fruit, sometimes the bark, sometimes the root, or maybe the leaves. Too bad I don't dye fabric much anymore. But I see you're really into it. You know what? Take some of it for free.
My word. Thank you so much.
Oh, not worth mentioning. Just be careful not to stain yourself. Quality material like this doesn't wash off easily.
What will it be?
I need something repaired. Let's talk about the price.
Sure. Why not?
What would you say to this?
You really won't convince me like this.
I could go for that price.
Thank you kindly. And come again.
I need something that'll put animals to sleep. Project said you might know something.
Did you get tired of blacksmithing and take up farming instead? I just happen to know of something. I used a concoction that will put even a startled mare to sleep in no time. I once accidentally drank some and slept for 3 days. But the recipe is an old blacksmith's secret. The kind you don't just give away. You're in the trade, so I can tell you. Listen up then. You take some poppy and thistle and boil them in oil. Then, after it cools off, you add a little herb Paris.
That doesn't sound too complicated. Thank you.
I must be mad. Did I imagine it? I heard. Fuck it. Enough! Don't try it again!
All right. What am I going to do with you? Aye. This'll be good.
One beer.
It's done. Oldbram's bull isn't as white as it used to be.
I knew you wouldn't let me down, mate. Oldbram must be having a fit. I can almost see it.
To hell with the fucking pricks. The lousy cities are...
All right, then. Here's the reward I promised you. Every last groschen.
Thanks.
And since you already got caught up in our little dispute, maybe you can help me with something else.
So, what can I help the Takovites with this time?
We're planning to meet with the Geliovites in the pasture that they keep arguing with us about. We'll sort it all out with them there. Nicely. Man to man. Wouldn't you like to join us?
Why not? After painting that bull, it would actually be quite a pleasant change to talk things over face to face.
Aye. Talk. We'll get into a huge argument and then start punching each other in the gob. So then, should I send for Oldbram so we can get going?
All right then. Let's paint them Geliovites so black and blue that they'll envy Oldbram's bull.
Haha, that's what I like to hear. Come, let's get the lads together and get going. Hey there, Geliovites! Did you miss us?
You know they did. They could hardly sleep.
Can you blame them? I'd rather come and get a beating than hang around in Geliov too.
You see? They're provoking us again. And they brought a stranger. There's no use trying to negotiate with them.
There's nothing to negotiate, old man. The pasture is ours, and that's final.
Bullshit! You know right well that I got smacked around as a child in that orchard right over there.
What do we care where you got smacked around? Don't laugh at him.
Listen to yourselves. All this useless racket for nothing. Why don't you leave things the way they are and split the pasture in half once and for all?
No splitting. It's all ours. I remember.
He's making it up. He just wants to take what's ours.
Seems a bit too convenient that he's the only one who remembers that the whole pasture belongs to them. The old coot hardly remembers which hole is for eating and which is for shitting.
Old Oldbram's always fuming, says half the pasture's his. Claim he'd graze his own bull there, but he's a fool, he is.
What did you say, you ass?
Keep my nothing out of your mouth. You know how long it took to wash off all that bloody paint? Which one of you was it?
So what? That was just a bit of fun.
You'll laugh on the other side of your face when we kick your asses.
That's right. Get him, lad.
About time. I thought I'd grow roots.
Enough talk! Get 'em, lads!
Let him have it! For our Nostek!
Smash them! Fucking Takovai!
Oh, ram fuck!
Jelly off is a disgrace!
Smash them cowpokes!
Let him have it!
Help me with him.
Yeah! Don't
Too
spare!
slow!
Good! I guess piss on tap!
Nice hit!
Stinks!
Yeah! Don't spare him!
And it's done!
That's a lot of blood! This should
Quick.
stop it. Phew. I hope that's enough.
Wake up! Come on!
I have to say, for a bunch of ordinary villagers, you fight well.
It ain't our first time, mate. And you held your own.
Well, I feel right at home in a fistfight. If you ever have another one planned...
I would happily kick Olbram's ass 3 times a day. But he isn't getting any younger. Can't have him on my conscience, eh? It's more than enough that you helped us defend Tachov's honor. And don't think we don't know how to reward good deeds like that. We have a nice pile of groschen for you.
Thank you. And if those Jelliavites ever cause any more trouble, let me know.
It was good to see you, my friend.